Who uses must-dos and can-dos during guided reading? So I've been using the must-dos and can-dos in guided reading, and today I thought I'd do a video just sharing some of the things that I do in my classroom, and this comes under the L3 program, the Language Learning and Literacy program, but they're not exceptionally new things. They're things that I've been doing for a long time with my teaching, and I'm sure other people have been doing as well. They've just been given this new pedagogical style of sort of free range learning. So by the end of this video, I'm going to show you some things in my classroom that I do. I'm calling this part one because this is just a few of the things that I do in my classroom. I've got lots of other things that I'd love to share with you. As soon as I finished recording, I thought, oh, I should have pulled this one out and this one out to show you. So I'll do a bit of a series on this one. So before I get to some video of my classroom, I just wanted to say thank you to all my new subscribers. I found out from messages that people have sent me asking how to subscribe that they're not actually watching it in the YouTube app. So you can't actually see all the different buttons to click to subscribe or follow me on Facebook or Twitter or any of those things. So if you're watching this via Facebook, it's probably opened up inside Facebook and you're watching it there. If you click on the little YouTube thing down the bottom here somewhere, it will open up in the YouTube website or app, and then you'll be able to see the red subscribe button and then the links in the description below that I leave to my Twitter and my Facebook and my Pinterest. And depending on the video, sometimes I leave links to other things as well. So let's get on with it then. So the must do and can do pedagogy is about choice and children having choice over the activities that they're doing in the classroom. So something that might seem very overwhelming can be left till later while they work on other things, and it's meant to be focused on independent learning as well. So while I'm off at the jelly bean table or the engine room or whatever you want to call it, doing explicit guided reading with a group of students, the rest of the class are working on these activities. So I'll flip to the video of the classroom where you can see how my class are sort of set up and some of the activities that I have, and then I'll come back and just give a bit of a debrief. Okay, so we'll switch to the video of my classroom now. Okay guys, so you can see I've set up a bunch of activities here. I normally wouldn't have this many set out. I've just set them out so you can have a look at what some examples might be. So when my kids first come into the room for the day, they get their home readers changed, they tick off their name to say that they've read it, and then they come over to the board to give themselves a dojo point, which is on here, and then they know to tap back for these ones. Oops, tap it back there. They go and do their familiar reads. We don't stop, we don't say good morning or anything like that. We do that outside when we have our morning chat. They come straight over, they get this packet, familiar reader. They've got 3 or 4 books in there at any time that they've already read before, and they know to sit down and read. We've got spare ones here that they've read before, so they rotate them around as they get through new books. And then once they're done with that, they know to come and get their workbook, which has their word work activities in it for the week. So this is not word work like L3 work, it's just a stencil that I got that has these activities on it. So I pick the words here, and then they pick the activities they want to do from that list. And at the moment I'm focusing on frog words just because we're doing that in writing. This week I let them pick their own words that they've used previously, and then they can pick activities to go with it from there. Part of their must-dos is handwriting. This week it's just really simple because we're doing book week, so we're having a book nick. They've got a sentence there to go with the book nick. Now, I can't do it on my interactive whiteboard because it just doesn't collaborate much. It's on the Fritz, so they know that their goal is to do this as neatly as they can in their handwriting book, and then I have chats with them about their goals and their writing. And then they can go to Google Classroom. So it's only 4 at a time, obviously. It needs to be rotated. And I stick up some of their tasks that they've done in Google Classroom. This was one where they had to go to the book corner, pick a book that they'd already read, and complete some information about them. Pretty simple and easy, but it's just to build up their fluency using the computers and just getting on and off and logging on and off and getting into Google Classroom quick. They can get to their can-dos. So that's the reading corner over there. I think you guys have seen this before in my Flexible Classrooms video. There's books in here. They can sit here and read. Any choice there. I've got frog books in there since we're doing that, and lots of other quality texts. They've got, this is free writing. If you saw my Kmart video, you'll see that the little prompts that I got here where they can do things on there if they can't think of anything themselves, and they can glue it into their books so that I can see what they're working on. Different things there. They're allowed to do anything they want in this book. That clock would have been when I gave them a clock as a prompt. Sometimes I put prompts in here. This time they've just got all the rainbow things. This is build a sentence. You can get things like this on Teachers Pay Teachers, but it just means printing it and laminating it, and it gets a bit fiddly. So I like this one because it's all on card, printed, ready to go, and then you can make the sentences using the colour matchup. So I just made this one, our heavy scooters move fast. For your lowest kids, you might just let them make that and say it. Other kids, you might get them to copy the sentence. To extend kids, I would probably get rid of that full stop and ask them to continue the sentence and maybe make a compound sentence, or edit this sentence and just make it a different sentence by editing that into their books. I've got, this is really cool. This is called Pathwords. This was an activity just in our storeroom here. So you get the book, and there's different levels as you go throughout the book. I'll just go to the first one here. It tells you which little colour tiles you need. So I need the yellow, I need the pink, I need the blue, and I need the purple. And you just need to find these words in here by using these. So I can see bunny is there, I can see hare is there, tail is here, and I can see hop there. So again, your lower kids might just find it. Your middle kids might copy the words down, or copy the words using the colours that are on the tiles, or maybe even put it into a sentence just to differentiate for some of those kids. Because my kids have used this that many times, I don't even have an instruction chart to go with that. They know what to do. This one's really good. I've lost a few of these dice though, so they roll the dice and you've got word endings or word beginnings on there. So depending on what you roll, you can end up writing down different words from it. So for the EN one there, I could make a new list and write, pen, hen, 10. And they know that the goal is to try and, fill up that board. You might then ask them to put it into a sentence if need be, edit each other's work, and sometimes I give away dojo points for those. I'm a class dojo ambassador, so I'm big on dojo points. This is Say Make Write. I've just realised I've left my cards out. So sometimes I have the Dolch words or sight words, or I can even ask the kids, use words from the word wall that we've got up there. And what they can do is they put the card here, so if the word was and, they get some magnetic letters and they put and here in magnetic letters, and then they write it with a whiteboard marker. My more extended kids are putting the word into a sentence now, so they're using the little spaces there to write sentences instead of just writing the word big there. This is a matching game. Another one from the lovely Storm here. Oh, Snap Game, sorry. And you've just got one or two sentences, the picture card to match it. So I can see you put me on a letter and stamp can go together, and they're a match. And then they can keep them in a pile and then go to the next one. Okay, I'll put those ones there. And you can see there's lots in the box there, so they can keep doing more of those. Always got to have bingo. Bingo's fun and easy. So the kids have got the Dolch words here to match up. And all they do is they put the words into a pile upside down, flip one over, and whoever's got the word gets to put a counter on. So if you rolled if you pulled out the word many, this kid's got many, he's got many, someone else will have many over the other side there. And standard bingo rules, you get it in a row and you're the winner. But the kids like to just fill the board, so I'm happy for them to just keep filling up the board and practicing their words. Okay, I love this boggle game. So this lid turns when it wants to turn. Sorry, this is a bit tricky. Just give me one sec. Okay, sorry, I've just turned it and opened it. So they shake it up and then put the letters in, and then it locks back into place. And then they can write bingo words on the board. And the goal obviously is to just get as many as you can. This is a new one for me this week, syllabification. And they've got the tiles in there with the slots. And this is me just playing around with them. slower, testing, retesting, looking at syllabification there. So I've got those ones there that they can practice with. But these are ones that I've used in the past. So this is a questioning board game. And I like these because it's a good talking and listening activity. And again, small groups of kids, so it's not too noisy. So you've got things like, when do you smile? When do you get out of bed? When was the last time you ate? And I like these because even though for the student it's a closed question, as a group, you've got open answers. So when do you smile? It's going to be a different answer from each kid. When do you get out of bed? Again, different answer for each kid. And that opens up the dialogue. Originally I thought, oh, well, they're just going to say one answer and move on to the next thing. But sometimes they'll spend ages talking about that one thing there as they go around the board. So it's really engaging. The other one that I've got is a box of spelling games. Oops. And there's like 6 games in here. So, I mean, really you could have the whole class playing them. And we've got anagrams here. This one's vowel sounds, silent letter one. So they're really good too. Easy, hands-on, engaging, quick and easy to get out as well to have as an activity. This is the one that I've really liked this week though. So I'll just move around. So this is, I've called this Name This Recipe. So I went to IGA and they had all of these recipe sheets, the free ones that you tear off. I like these though because they're from the 4 ingredients cookbooks, which I love. And on the other side of this bit of paper has the final product and of the recipe and the title of the recipe as well. So you can't actually see it on this side of the paper. So I've glued it onto cardboard so that they can't see it. And they need to read the ingredients and the instructions and try and come up with a name for this recipe based on what they think it's going to be at the end. And I've got their lovely Kmart rainbow pens for them to use while they do it. But it was interesting because a lot of the kids didn't know the ingredients. So they didn't know this one. They didn't know halloumi. I love halloumi. So we ended up pulling up a video of Curtis Stone grilling halloumi on the barbecue to see what it was and talking about when I had eaten it before and my first time eating it. And I said to them, well, look at this. It's got lamb and it's got halloumi. So I'm going to use a play on words and I'm going to write halloumi. And I was very proud of myself. I thought I was very, very funny and I chuckled away to myself probably a bit longer than I should have while they looked at me funny and I said, it's funny. I think it's funny. So anyway, now they're adding their own ideas of what these recipes could be. And I'll actually tell them the name of it later on and show them the other side because I got more than one. But it's been interesting vocab development for this one to see how much they know about food or steps, and it's really good for all of our verbs when it comes to cooking. So we're going to continue that for a second week only because they found it a bit new and daunting at first. So while they're all working, I'm over there at the jelly bean table doing my guided reading. So I've got my books here ready to go. Their names are on the wall over there with my, I wonder if I can zoom in, Harry Potter characters there you can see. And I've always got the Surface Pro here ready to go, like for instance with the Curtis Stone halloumi cooking thing. I do have a table there ready for a student doing some independent activities on a program, but he will often join us around the room for our other activities. And like I said, these are just some of the things that I do. It's always changing, always trying to keep it engaging and making sure it meets student needs. What I do with my must-dos and can-dos isn't the be-all and end-all, obviously. Hopefully it's just a couple of suggestions for things and to show you how I do it in the room. So, yeah. Okay, so you can see out from the layout of my classroom that my kids have lots of space to work in and they have some ownership over their learning. And you might think at first that it's not for every child, and definitely not every child will be able to engage well in that free range environment and be able to take ownership over their learning. They might go to one activity and stay there for the entire time. And that comes down to classroom management. It comes down to the conversations that you have with your students and reflecting on their learning and what their goals are and what they're trying to do. I like to ask the kids, what activities they like better and what ones they didn't enjoy and why, and get into those conversations. And sometimes I ask them for input for what kind of activities they would like to do as well. I really try to tie it in with the reading that we're doing, with the writing focus that we're doing, comprehension strategies that we're doing. And you can see from some of the tasks that I have, a lot of it is based on our English as an additional language or dialect students, EALD students, and to make sure that they're actually targeting needs. Keeping in mind though that it should be an independent activity that's reinforcing their language, reinforcing their learning, and making sure that they're engaging with what they're doing and taking ownership over what they're doing. So the kids need to be accountable for that learning. So the must do obviously is one of the things that needs to be done in that session, and the can do is that choice based. So you don't have to do all the can do's, you can just do one of the can do's. It's the must do's that need to be done. And those things fluctuate each day. So one day, the reading corner might be a must do, but then the next day it might be a can do. And that way as well, I'm having some control over what the students are doing. Keep in mind as well, this is still all in our control. All of those activities are in our control as teachers. We get to choose what those things are. So even though the students have control over what they're doing in the classroom and the choice that they have in the classroom, we ultimately still have control over everything that's happening in that room. And the big apprehension I know a lot of people have had are students with high learning needs and behavior needs in the classroom. You've got to give it time. Anytime you try something like this, you've got to give it time for it to work and give time for that student to respond, to react, to engage with it. It might take one student a week to be able to take control over that learning and really engage, and it might take another student a month, might take another student an entire term. Time is irrelevant when it comes to these things. There's no time frame to say that a student has to be able to be controlling what they're doing with their learning at a certain amount of time. You know your children best, you know how they best learn, and you can modify and differentiate to make sure that you're catering for those student needs. So I'm going to try and make another video soon with more must do and can do activities that I've been using in the classroom. I would love to see what everyone else is doing as well. So feel free to share with your colleagues, do the clicky button subscribe thing that I mentioned earlier in the video, and I look forward to seeing you let's try that again. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks guys. Bye.